Hey, just a quick one. Why am I back in Corbyn? You might be watching this because I can't be bothered typing. I do a lot of typing. I mean, I must write about 3,000 words a day about the bloke or his party and what they do. I'm really behind him, 110%. There's a lot of things that people think about him that might not be true. There's a lot of things that people think about him that could be true. Imagine it's the same on the other side with things I think about them, with the Tories and stuff like that. So I'm just coming out straight and I'm just saying, look, I support Corbyn, I believe in what he does, yeah? I think we've been in a liberal agenda for the last 40 years, I think it's been right wing, and it's damaged as communities, it's damaged society, it's damaged people and the way they live. I think the fact that the tax bracket for corporations has dropped to such a low speaks an awful lot, whilst we're getting cuts on as public services, and us, like, we're getting cuts ourselves. People are struggling to make ends meet, working 40 hours a week and not having nothing left at the end of it to show. People are in debt like chains. It's wrong. Like, I think this liberalism that's been pushed around for the last 40 years, starting with Thatcher, Major, Blair, Brown, Cameron, May, Boris Johnson, I think they've all got liberal values, like. So for me that's wrong. I believe about the people that I live with, the communities I've lived in. I'm about you guys, like, alright. And I think the fact that a lot of these liberals, when they've got in, Tony Blair as well, they've not delivered on the manifestos. I think the new Labour with Tony Blair was an absolute joke. I just think it was Labour full of Tory candidates, and I think that there's still a lot of them Tory candidates still in party today, but that's just something I will take on the chin, for the sake of just trying at this this socialist thing. We don't know if it's going to work, we don't know if it can work or not, and the fact that the media is so against it makes me think maybe it can, because a lot of these media giants are trying to protect their investment. They're not really bothered about you and me, to be honest. It's more about what they've got. I mean, that might be wrong what I'm saying, but I imagine a lot of them are in it for themselves, especially politically, because that's just all I've seen. That's what I've grown up in. I've grown up in austerity. It's not nice, like, especially for it's been through my teenage years, these last 9 years, obviously, coming up to 23 now. I am 23 now, and it's just been austerity, like, and I want to end it, alright? I want to stop all these cuts and I want to start spending on things. Yeah, Tories are saying they're in a position to spend now, but do you really trust them to do spending? I know I don't. I know I don't trust 45 years worth of liberalism. Like, no way. I'd rather try 4 years of socialism, sorry. Just to see if it works, just to see if it can deliver, because it's a complete different set of values. Everybody who's slating it or discrediting it, we've not tried socialism in the last 40 years, like, so. I know in the 70s it was quite bad. I think what we had in the 70s was too much socialism. And I think what we had from 1980 onwards is too much liberalism. So we need to try and find an harmonium, a balance, a bit like Singapore. But I think we need to just rebalance the scales a little bit first, and then we can look towards harmonium. Because to be honest with you, I don't really care about politics or all like that. What I care about is us all stopping fighting, all joining hands, like, you know what I mean? If video games have taught me anything, it's that I can get along with absolutely anybody across the world, and we can all share common values when we focus on a task. Video games prove that, yeah? So imagine if everybody around the world just said, oh yeah, whatever then, we're just going to join hands and start looking to the stars, and people like Elon Musk and that are going to get funding from the world, and we're going to blitz it, like. So I nearly swore then. This is just how passionate I am about it. For me, Corbyn is a bloke pushing for that sort of ideology. He wants to end austerity, like, he wants to bring a stop to it. He wants to give immediate pay rises to people. It's brilliant, like, what he's planning, and I think it's at least worth a try compared to what everybody else is offering. Do you know what I mean? Maybe some of the things that have happened aren't good. Some of the things that have happened are amazing. I think a lot of the problem is we can't trust media and we can't trust politics anymore, so we're left kind of paranoid, not being able to trust nothing. And that's a massive, massive problem now. We need to start rebuilding society out of glass rather than wood, so everything is transparent and on the table. And that's why I like what Labour's done. They've put the spending forward, they've put the manifesto forward. Over 130 economists backed it. I know that financial whatever thing knocked it down, that British financial thing, but that does make me wonder. It's like that chief rabbi guy as well. I've seen testimonies from hundreds of Jews who back Corbyn to a T, like. So this rabbi guy, I have seen him shaking hands with Conservative members. You can look at it, don't take my word, look it up yourself. So I believe he has Conservative interests, trying to keep us in a neo-liberal trap. And that's what we need to break out of here. We need to literally put blinkers onto media and everything else and just go for best bet. Even if, think of an election like a bus ride, yeah? Even if it doesn't take you to your stop where you want to be, it'll take us a lot closer to where we want to be, alright? So, even though I back Corbyn and stuff, if his policies were rubbish, if his party was rubbish, I wouldn't like him. You know, and like I said, there is weeds in the Labour garden and that, but I've got a lot of confidence in the Labour government to attempt to deliver. Do you know what I mean? I believe even if they'd only try 10% of what they're promising, yeah, it's 100% better than what we've had for the last 9 years, definitely. So, it's kind of like, this is why yesterday in my last debate I said that I don't see my politics as procrastinating, I see it as important. I feel like a man on a mission, yeah? And just because you don't agree with me, it don't mean I'm right, you're wrong, you're right, I'm wrong. Do you know what I mean? It just means you disagree with me, like, we could talk about it, and talk about it, and talk about it, and we'll throw media lies about, probably on both sides, like, it's just one of them. I never get personal, like, never try and upset you. It has happened a couple of times before, and I've learned from my mistakes, like, I'm just trying my best to learn, and I take things, if I think I've said something wrong to you, it stays with me for a long time, if not forever. So it's one of them. But with Corbyn, like, I just feel like I'm a bloke on a mission, and I need to try and just get this socialist government in, not for me, for my daughter. Like, I didn't really care as much when it was just when I didn't have my daughter Lily. So I think investments into education, investments into the NHS, they're all important. I think without them, we're going backwards, not forwards. And this green revolution is planning and stuff, yeah, I believe in climate change. Whether you believe in climate change or not, I'm not sure if it really matters anymore, because the evidence is there to go see. I mean, you've got lagoons and rivers and lakes and even oceans just covered in microplastics and plastics. Marine life is dying everywhere. Like, the CO2 we're pumping into the air, it's warming the planet up as well, so then we're having more fires and stuff like that. It's something we need to fix, and soon and sharpish, yeah. And everybody might laugh at people around my age for wanting to do something about it, but personally, when I think when people younger than me, children, like, stand up, stop going to school, and stand there and say, we need to do something, it's not a joke, it's not something to laugh at, it's an embarrassment. It should make you ashamed, man, if you think that them children are doing the wrong thing. Because I take my hood off to them. I think they're brilliant, honestly. It's definitely pushed me towards wanting a green revolution. And I know that the problem is across the planet, but I think that Corbyn is the man to work, probably with the Green Party, who might pull in quite a few votes, and deliver not only a socialist sort of way of life for a little bit, but to deliver vital investment into stopping climate change. and also vital investment into fixing the NHS, because trade deal or no trade deal, every NHS service I've been to, especially in the last 9 years, has been failing in one way or another, and it just keeps getting worse. Now, when you hear nurses who speak for who work for the NHS, but also they're speaking for them on behalf of them, like, they're not happy, none of them. I mean, you've got the Conservatives, and on that side of the bench, cheering for pay rises, for pay cuts to nurses. They were cheering it on, and firefighters, like, it's wrong, it's disgusting, it's not right. You should be cheering pay rises for them sorts of people, because they are pillars of society. Without them, well, I dread to think. So I know there's a lot of things that Corbyn might have done you disagree with. There might be a lot of things he's done you agree with. What I would do is I'd take a lot on it with a pinch of salt. When you see videos of him speaking, don't just listen to cut videos, listen to the whole thing. Obviously, I've got my biasness. I've come out and said this now, it might do me a lot of harm. And I hope not, like, but it's one of them things. I just want it to be clear that I'm backing Corbyn. I've been backing Corbyn for the last 2 years or so, like. And I think that he's the bloke who deserves that X in a box. Whoever you vote for, that's entirely up to you, do you know what I mean? I'm sure it's justified. I'm just explaining why my vote's going there. Like I said, it's for my daughter, it's for the most vulnerable in society to me. It's to stop media bias and lies, and it probably will still happen. Like, maybe that is too much to ask for. I just believe in a society made of glass. It's the establishment and how they've treated me, people my age. They've taken opportunities away from us and destroyed things. It's kind of like just rotten right-wing politics, constant. It's been like it for the last 40 years. Curiosity, obviously I'm curious. I want to know if Corbyn is going to deliver on all these things, and I think if he doesn't, I'll never trust socialism again, because like I said, we've got that little trust in politics and that little trust in the media, and for me it's probably just easier to tag it mostly on the Liberals. So I think maybe a change in political stance on the spectrum, get a few more left-wing votes in, and we might start seeing a bit of change. Meeting with terror leaders, just right quick. If we want to negotiate peace, we need to meet with the leaders on all sides, and that's just that. And I believe in world peace. Imagine what we could achieve if we all joined hands and looked to the stars. Like, it's unreal. This manifesto, it's a manifesto hope for me. I don't know if it's going to deliver. I am sceptical, I am cynical, but at the same time I have to just go for it 110%, because I think it's going to be best for everybody I know and love. I believe in education investment as well as NHS, like I've said. I think that's really important to have a right. We have a right to education, therefore I think all education should be free, or at least have a free point of entry for most people. Looking for a hero. I think that's what most of us are doing when we're backing Corbyn. I think we're looking for a hero, somebody who we can, because we've watched films, read books, played games, whatever, we're heroes, and we're just looking for somebody who can fix things, and we can already identify the problems. I just think a lot of us have got hope now that somebody will fix things after this general election. Like I said, 40 years of liberalism, for the last 40 years of everything that's gone wrong. Maybe a bit before that, there's footage of Corbyn trying to stop it, and there's just a lot of MSM, mainstream media outlets, delivering false facts on things. But anyway, like I said, this is my opinion, so don't take my word for it. Go out there and research it yourself, look things up, see what conclusions you come to, take everything with a pinch of salt. Only you can decide what's right for your family, what's right for your country, your nation, your kingdom, and then your planet. Let's do it. Let's try and fix the world, innit? Anyway, have a good one, yeah? One love, one world. See you in a bit. Tap man out.